There are moments in time that look ordinary on the calendar but carry extraordinary weight in the spiritual realm. March 1st, 2, and 3 are not just dates, they represent a prophetic turning point that many chosen ones have been sensing long before it was spoken. The urgency you have been feeling is not anxiety, and it is not imagination. It is divine timing pressing against your spirit, signaling that something significant is shifting. When heaven marks time, it does so with intention. Patterns align. Events accelerate. Hidden matters surface. What seemed delayed begins to move with sudden force. Divine urgency feels different from fear. Fear brings confusion and chaos. Divine urgency brings clarity and intensity. It sharpens your awareness. It heightens your discernment. You may have noticed increased spiritual warfare, unusual dreams, repeated signs, or an internal prompting that refuses to quiet down. This is because transitions are rarely quiet. When a turning point approaches, resistance often increases. The pressure you have felt was not meant to break you but to position you. Pressure creates focus. Focus prepares you for movement. A prophetic turning point does not always announce itself with visible fireworks. Often, it begins internally. A mindset shifts. A burden lifts. A revelation clicks into place. Something that once held you back suddenly loses its grip. These 3 days represent a crossing over from one spiritual phase into another. What was once preparation becomes activation. What was once hidden becomes visible. What was once a test becomes a testimony in motion. March 1st symbolizes alignment. It marks the separation between what was and what will be. It is the doorway day, the threshold moment. Many chosen ones will feel clarity about decisions they have been postponing. Conversations that were avoided will need to happen. Steps that were delayed will need to be taken. Alignment requires courage because it demands honesty with yourself and obedience to what you already know deep down. March 2nd represents confrontation and confirmation. This is where truth rises. Illusions fade. Masks fall. Spiritual clarity exposes what is not meant to continue into the next season. Some relationships may feel strained. Some opportunities may suddenly close. What looks like loss may actually be divine protection. Confirmation comes in different forms: through peace, through repeated messages, through unexpected validation. Heaven confirms what it initiates, but it also confronts what cannot move forward with you. March 3rd carries acceleration. Once alignment and confrontation take place, movement follows. Doors that have been resistant may open quickly. News may arrive suddenly. Opportunities may present themselves without long waiting periods. Acceleration can feel overwhelming if you are unprepared. That is why urgency was sent before movement. You were warned before you were launched. You were stirred before you were elevated. This sequence is intentional. A prophetic turning point also reveals identity. Many chosen ones have struggled with doubt recently. Questions about purpose, worth, and direction may have surfaced intensely. That internal battle was part of the preparation. When the shift happens, you cannot step forward unsure of who you are. Identity stabilizes momentum. Without it, acceleration becomes chaos. With it, acceleration becomes destiny unfolding. You may also notice that distractions increase right before these dates. Unexpected drama, emotional triggers, sudden responsibilities, or negative voices may attempt to pull your attention away. This is strategic. Distraction is one of the oldest tactics used to delay destiny. Divine urgency is meant to counteract distraction. It reminds you that focus is necessary. Not everything deserves your response. Not everything requires your energy. Protecting your peace during this period is essential. This turning point is not only personal, it is strategic. Some chosen ones are stepping into leadership roles. Others are stepping out of hidden seasons. Some are ending cycles that have lasted years. The magnitude of the shift may not be fully visible immediately, but its impact will unfold over time. Seeds planted in past seasons are approaching harvest. Lessons learned in isolation are becoming tools for influence. The urgency was not random, it was a signal that the waiting period has an expiration date. You may feel both excitement and nervousness. That combination is common before transformation. Growth stretches comfort zones. Expansion disrupts routine. But this is not instability, it is transition. Transition always feels uncomfortable because it requires release. Something must end for something new to begin. The prophetic nature of these dates emphasizes divine orchestration rather than coincidence. Pay attention to your intuition during these days. Pay attention to repeated thoughts, unexpected encounters, and subtle confirmations. Silence may become more valuable than noise. Reflection may become more powerful than reaction. The shift will not force you, but it will invite you. It will require participation. Heaven initiates, but you respond. Divine urgency is an invitation to step into alignment before acceleration demands it. Some chosen ones will experience restoration. Others will experience redirection. Some will receive clarity about long-standing confusion. Others will finally see why certain doors had to close. The turning point may not look identical for everyone, but the underlying theme is movement. Stagnation is breaking. Cycles are ending. Momentum is building beneath the surface. You are not being rushed, you are being awakened. Urgency does not mean panic. It means awareness. It means recognizing that timing matters. It means understanding that preparation and opportunity are meeting at the same intersection. March 1st, 2, and 3 are markers of transition, moments where unseen decisions align with visible outcomes, where internal growth meets external opportunity, where readiness meets release. Spiritual realignment is one of the most powerful forces a chosen one can experience, and it is often subtle until it manifests dramatically in your life. When heaven signals a realignment, it is not simply about correcting small errors or making minor adjustments. It is about recalibrating your entire spiritual trajectory to match the destiny that has been set for you. This process involves more than human understanding, it operates in a dimension where timing, intention, and divine authority converge. What you have experienced up to this point, the delays, the confusion, the unexplained doors closing, is all part of the preparation for this realignment. Heaven does not issue updates arbitrarily, every shift has purpose, every stir is deliberate, and every disruption is designed to redirect you toward your true path. Spiritual realignment often begins internally, with the stirring of the heart, the sharpening of perception, and the deepening of awareness. You may begin to notice subtle nudges that challenge long-held beliefs, internal convictions that press you to change habits, or moments of clarity that illuminate areas where you have been misaligned. This internal work is necessary because external changes without internal transformation lead to instability. The realignment you are entering requires that your mind, spirit, and emotions be in harmony with the assignments ahead. The universe responds to alignment, and when your internal state resonates with divine order, your external circumstances will begin to reflect that resonance. The days of March 1st, 2, and 3 are critical because they mark a spiritual pivot point where energy flows differently. Previously stagnant areas of life may suddenly move, and opportunities that once seemed impossible may present themselves with ease. This is not random luck, it is the manifestation of divine orchestration. Spiritual realignment allows you to operate in a rhythm that matches your purpose. It creates a synchronization between your intentions and the divine plan, between your efforts and the timing of heaven. When this alignment occurs, the results are often immediate and unmistakable. The clarity and power that emerge during this period are meant to catapult you into the next phase of your journey. One of the key elements of spiritual realignment is the clearing of old patterns. These may be habits, relationships, or mindsets that no longer serve your higher purpose. While some of these patterns are obvious, others are subtle and deeply embedded, requiring discernment and vigilance to identify. This is where prayer, meditation, reflection, and spiritual guidance become crucial. The process is not meant to be painful, although it can be uncomfortable, because growth always challenges stagnation. Removing what is not aligned creates space for what is divinely appointed to enter. The urgency of the update from heaven emphasizes that this clearing is not optional, it is essential. Realignment also involves redefining your spiritual boundaries. For many chosen ones, this may mean stepping away from relationships, situations, or even environments that hinder growth. Boundaries are not walls, they are protective measures that preserve energy, focus, and divine flow. As your awareness deepens during these days, you may realize that certain people or circumstances have been draining you or holding you back without your conscious acknowledgement. Recognizing this is part of the divine recalibration. Boundaries create clarity and protect the momentum that heaven is preparing to release in your life. Another important aspect of this realignment is revelation. During the days of March 1st, 2, and 3, you may receive insight into decisions you have struggled to make or circumstances you have not understood. The spiritual atmosphere is heightened, making you more receptive to truth. These revelations often confirm long-held instincts or provide solutions that were previously hidden. What feels like coincidence is actually strategic guidance. The universe is designed to work in cycles, and during moments of realignment, these cycles accelerate. The revelations are not just messages, they are keys that unlock your ability to step fully into your assignment. Spiritual realignment also amplifies discernment. You will find that your intuition sharpens, your awareness of others' motives heightens, and your ability to navigate complex situations improves. This is critical because the next phase of your journey will demand clarity and wisdom. Decisions made in alignment with divine timing carry far-reaching consequences, and discernment ensures that you act with authority and confidence. The chosen one must be alert during this period because the spiritual currents are moving quickly, and awareness is the compass that ensures proper navigation. Timing plays a significant role in this realignment. There is a difference between preparation and activation. Preparation involves internal work, reflection, and clearing, while activation involves external movement and manifestation. March 1st, 2, and 3 represent the intersection of these two stages. The alignment of your spiritual, mental, and emotional state with the divine plan will trigger the next steps in your journey. You may notice that opportunities, encounters, and confirmations arrive with an unusual sense of precision, as if everything is synchronized to your purpose. Recognizing these signs and acting upon them with clarity and courage is essential for fully embracing the shift. Spiritual realignment is not always visible immediately. Some of the most important changes occur beneath the surface, in ways that are not immediately apparent. You may feel an inner shift long before you see external results. This is because alignment often affects the unseen aspects of your life first: the energy, the focus, the spiritual positioning before manifesting outwardly. Trusting the process during this period is crucial, because doubt or impatience can delay the full manifestation of what has been orchestrated for you. Faith and obedience work together to ensure that your realignment produces the intended impact. Community and support also play a role in this process. As you undergo spiritual realignment, you may encounter people who resonate with your vision and others who do not. Recognizing who belongs in your circle and who does not is part of the discernment process. Spiritual alignment attracts like-minded energy and repels incompatible energy. The days of heightened urgency are not meant for passive observation but for active participation in your growth. Engaging with the right people, while disengaging from those who hinder your purpose, helps solidify the shift and amplifies the momentum that heaven is initiating. Ultimately, spiritual realignment is about positioning yourself for destiny. It is about harmonizing your actions, thoughts, and spiritual state with what heaven has planned for you. This alignment brings clarity, confidence, and acceleration. The process may challenge your comfort, test your resolve, and stretch your faith. but it is designed to prepare you for a season of impact and influence. The emergency update from heaven for March 1st, 2, and 3 is a signal that this recalibration is not optional, and the choices you make during this period will set the trajectory for what is about to unfold. Preparation over panic is the central principle for anyone receiving a divine message of urgency. When heaven issues an emergency update, it is not intended to instill fear or create chaos in the heart of a chosen one. Instead, it is a call to awareness, focus, and strategic response. The days of March 1st, 2, and 3 carry a weight that demands attention, not anxiety. Panic clouds judgment, disrupts discernment, and undermines the alignment that heaven is orchestrating. Preparation, on the other hand, positions you to respond accurately, decisively, and powerfully. This distinction between panic and preparation is crucial, because every action taken during this period will either align with divine timing or resist it, with consequences that extend far beyond these 3 days. Preparation begins internally, with the mind and spirit in sync. It requires a deliberate commitment to clarity and focus. You may find that your thoughts have been scattered recently, that uncertainty has dominated decision-making, or that doubt has crept into areas where you once felt confident. These are natural effects of transition. Divine emergencies often expose vulnerabilities to strengthen resolve. Preparation involves identifying those areas, facing them honestly, and restructuring your thought patterns to match the truth of your identity as a chosen one. It requires you to filter out distractions, recognize what truly matters, and prioritize actions that will move you into alignment with the divine plan. Spiritually, preparation is about strengthening your connection to heaven's guidance. Prayer, meditation, and reflective study become essential tools during this period. Listening for subtle nudges, paying attention to recurring messages, and discerning the signs around you ensures that you act in coordination with the forces orchestrating your destiny. Panic leads to reactive decisions, often driven by fear or external pressure, whereas preparation aligns your actions with the flow of divine intention. The difference is like navigating a storm with a map versus drifting aimlessly. When you prepare, you are anchored in wisdom and empowered to move confidently through uncertainty. Preparation over panic also involves practical readiness. While the spiritual and mental dimensions are vital, the physical realm cannot be ignored. You may need to make arrangements, clear obstacles, or secure resources that allow you to respond effectively. This is not about hoarding or overreacting, it is about positioning yourself so that when doors open, opportunities are not missed. Heaven often coordinates circumstances so that timing and action intersect perfectly, but this intersection requires readiness. Being prepared ensures that you can seize the moment instead of scrambling in confusion. During this period, discernment is paramount. Not everything that appears urgent is truly essential. Some events may be distractions, tests, or deliberate attempts to provoke fear. Panic makes it easy to react to every ripple in your environment as if it were a tsunami. Preparation teaches you to step back, observe, evaluate, and respond selectively. By distinguishing between what is critical and what is peripheral, you conserve energy, maintain focus, and honor the divine guidance that has been issued. The ability to discern the difference between true urgency and illusion is a defining trait of a chosen one. Another key aspect of preparation is emotional regulation. Panic triggers heightened emotions, impulsive decisions, and instability. Preparation nurtures calmness, patience, and confidence. It allows you to respond with precision rather than instinctive reaction. The days of March 1st, 2, and May 3rd bring unexpected revelations, confrontations, or shifts in circumstances, and maintaining emotional balance ensures that you navigate these changes with integrity. When you are calm, you see clearly; when you are focused, you act decisively; when you are aligned, you move powerfully. Panic clouds all of these capacities. Preparation over panic also emphasizes readiness for rapid spiritual and physical movement. Emergency updates from heaven often signal acceleration. Steps that were delayed may need immediate action. Decisions that seemed optional suddenly become imperative. By preparing in advance, you position yourself to respond without hesitation. The chosen one who has cultivated preparation experiences transition as opportunity rather than crisis. Doors open smoothly, confirmations arrive with clarity, and momentum builds naturally because nothing is resisted and everything is anticipated. Preparation also involves strategic surrender. There is a balance between action and letting go, between effort and trust. Panic often arises from a sense of personal responsibility to control outcomes. Preparation acknowledges that while action is necessary, divine orchestration governs ultimate results. Surrendering control does not mean inaction, it means acting in alignment with guidance, trusting that timing and sequencing are managed by forces beyond human perception. This surrender reduces anxiety and allows your energy to be directed effectively toward what truly matters. Preparation over panic requires attentiveness to spiritual protection. In moments of urgency, resistance often intensifies. Forces that oppose progress may increase attacks, temptations, or distractions. Those who panic often respond reactively, giving energy to opposition. Those who prepare respond proactively, reinforcing their spiritual armor through prayer, discernment, and discipline. Protection is not passive, it is a conscious, active posture that ensures you remain centered and secure amidst the heightened spiritual activity that accompanies emergency updates. During these days, clarity of purpose becomes critical. You may be called to act on information, follow unusual guidance, or step into responsibilities that feel sudden or unexpected. Preparation provides the framework to respond without hesitation or error. Panic, in contrast, creates paralysis, indecision, and missed opportunity. The difference is the difference between stepping confidently into destiny and being swept along by events with no direction. Preparation ensures that every step is deliberate, aligned, and purposeful. Finally, preparation over panic reinforces identity. The chosen one must operate from a foundation of self-knowledge, spiritual authority, and confidence in the divine plan. Panic erodes this foundation, creating doubt and fear. Preparation strengthens it, creating resilience and courage. The emergency update for March 1st, 2, and 3 is not a warning to instill fear, it is a call to action, to awareness, and to strategic alignment. By prioritizing preparation, you honor your role, protect your trajectory, and maximize the impact of the divine timing that is unfolding.